From seasoned explorers to first-time trekkers, For Every Adventure is your outdoor guide.
Hey, welcome to For Every Adventure, brought to you by Outdoor Warehouse. I'm Kyle Haitian. Now,
Hi, Kyle. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
We're chatting shoes today.
Yes.
But it's really special brands, and one of them in particular I've loved since I was younger, and that's CAT, but not for the reason you'd think.
What reason would I think?
I started loving the really big CAT machines, like the earth-moving equipment.
Okay,
Because
gotcha.
at some point the family was into, they were diggers, okay? So
What? Wait.
For me,
the family,
it's
a family of diggers.
Yes.
All right.
So it's a long story, but basically bulldozers and excavators, those things excite me.
What were you digging for, Chanel?
Well, diamonds, Kyle.
Okay.
Girl's best
Sorry.
friend.
I think. All right. Got it.
So even my boys, when they were little, they got all the CAT's equipment.
So digging is in the family, huh?
Yes, but
Yeah.
now today we're talking shoes, and one of the brands we're talking about is CAT. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
And then, of course, Merrell as well. So in studio, we have the MD of Merrell and CAT Shoes today. His name is David Palmer. So I'm excited to get to this chat.
Seeing as you're a professional digger, would you say that CAT shoes are the preferred brand for digging?
Of course.
Okay, among other things, which we will discuss. So, footwear, I think from the top of the episode, I want to mention is so important because your feet are the basis, the foundation of your body. And when you get to, I don't want to say my age, I really don't want to feel old, but it's really important to have good footwear because it doesn't just support your foot or your ankle. It's really good for your knees, it's good for your hips, and it's good for your back. Now, I've got the back sorted. I don't feel back pain anymore. I think I'm past that. I've evolved past back pain with bending over to change a nappy. So now I'm definitely in the market for some good shoes. I've never really looked after my feet in that way. It's always just been, whatever I can get. Right now, I'm wearing hand-me-downs from my father-in-law. So really excited to learn.
Okay, well, good that
today.
we have an expert with us today. Yeah.
All right, Chanel, let's dig in.
Get all the outdoor gear and expert advice you need right here on the For Every Adventure podcast.
Time to introduce our guest today. It's David Palmer, MD of Merrell and CAT Shoes. How are you, David?
So good, and so good to be here with Kyle and Chanel. Wonderful to be involved with Outdoor Warehouse and looking forward to growing the brands within their retail space.
David, I think, first of all, I just want to ask you a little bit of your journey with Merrell and CAT. How long have you been with these brands, and why? Because I can see you're very passionate about it. Why do you find them so iconic?
Well, I think it goes back to when I was 12 years old, and it's been a few decades since then, when my dad introduced me to shoemaking when we had a shoe factory down in Port Elizabeth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was on the production line for many years, but before that, measuring leather, working on the insoles of product, and that leads us into the comfort features of everything. But that was always during school holidays, of course. I did get an education, and beyond that, it was into really gleaning on and conditioning my knowledge of footwear, business, and people.
Okay.
And that's really what our business revolves around: is people, the consumer, and engagement.
That's always good to hear that it starts with the person.
But to speak to how long we've been with the brands, Caterpillar, we've been with the brand for 32 years as distributors in Southern Africa. And Merrell, we've been with for 25 years, also distributing through Southern Africa.
So, David, Merrell is synonymous with outdoor performance. How do you maintain that strong reputation in such a competitive market?
My goodness, and has the market become even more competitive?
Right.
We have, at the heart of it is, getting to the outside. And, human beings, whether it be on a solo event or going out there as a collective, Merrell stands for, sharing the simple power of being outside with everyone. And that's exactly what the brand epitomizes. It's how we get that message across. And that is the job of marketing and producing product that is next level.
Are you an outdoor person? You must be, right?
I am an outdoor person. I also, love the heritage of brands, the authenticity of brands, and that's what Merrell brings to the table.
All right.
But outdoors,
Any
that is my
specific
game.
hobbies you enjoy outdoors?
Adventure racing.
There we go.
So I've gone from solo feats, in the Ironman world,
Wow.
to adventure racing, which really speaks to the mantra of Merrell, where we look to the collective, we look to a sense of community, we look to engagement with others, because it is really a team sport going through various multidisciplines and weathering sleep deprivation, the ground beneath your feet, paddling through water, or cycling a bike.
And that's just 4 to 7 with a toddler.
It's always relating it to Kyle's life.
But what gives me great joy just thinking about that and, pushing your toddler around in a pram or walking alongside them is one of my greatest thrills in every day is walking my dogs early morning and late evening. And that's exactly what the brand also epitomizes, is it doesn't have to be an adventure race. It can be a walk in the veld, a stroll in the forest, or just taking your dog for a walk around the block.
I love that. It's the perspective of the adventure.
Definitely.
Okay. So, all right, I need to ask my favorite brand here's questions. So, CAT is known for like ruggedness and also its durability. Workwear, I would say. So, I mean, would you say it appeals more to that market, the workwear market? And can you maybe give us the essence of CAT? That would help.
Well, we're dealing with a brand that has just celebrated its 100th year, its centennial,
Goodness
and
me.
that's this year in 2025, where we
Wow.
had a great campaign. We put it forward and into the market, and what it centered around was, how Caterpillar, and those are the Caterpillar earth-moving machines, the ones that dig.
Yes. Those.
It was the part they played in the moon landing and the technology that they put into Apollo, and how they were part of a dream come true.
Wow, that's amazing. I did not know this.
They then also took part in the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge, as well as building the Channel, which is the Channel Tunnel. Channel Tunnel.
I think Channel is a good way to go.
I think Channel is from Calais to Dover. And that was across the English Channel and underground and all the rest of it. And, we designed some footwear that epitomizes each of those 3 feats and put it out into the marketplace and used our influencers to get that into the mainstream of retail, just to really speak the word of a 100-year company.
Okay.
Wow. So Merrell and CAT, really, really important names in footwear. I think jumping back to Merrell, with the long history with hikers and adventurers, how does the brand stay relevant to both hardcore outdoor enthusiasts and also the casual explorers?
One needs to take the brand back to close on 45 years. And how did the brand start? It started with a basic cowboy boot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
so
that.
that's exactly how it started, the design of a cowboy boot. And Randy Merrell, the founder of the company, then began with hiking. He loved hiking. And he knew about technology, but also he knew about the needs that he would need from footwear to scale some mountains. So he went into the hiking fraternity, and as far as product goes, and designed some amazing boots. The first one called the Wilderness. It was many, many years ago. But what directs product development and a new culture? It's really what the consumer speaks to, what the consumer demands are, and of course, where brands see opportunity.
So, David, on that, what would you say, what role does innovation play when you have to design this product? Particularly when it comes to technology, there's different terrain. Some of them are really challenging. So how would you, what could you tell us about that?
Taking you back to footwear production, footwear design, and all the rest, designers and range builders were always so pedantic about what the upper of a product looks like. What Merrell has identified is that let's build the product from the bottom up. What is most important for a hiker or walker, a runner? So it was always building their credibility through their outsole design, the compounds that go into the outsole that give durability and longevity, as well as the midsoles of the product, and that would give your shock absorption, energy return, and rebound. Then you would go to the inside of the product into the foot cavity, and that's where you really get that pillowed mattress type feel, that cushioning that has strategically placed cushioning pods that really help the walker, runner, or hiker.
Okay. I've never tried a Merrell. Okay. I think I've told you that just now.
I'm very excited to try it.
Yes. But my son has a pair. And that's one thing that really struck me is it's literally the sole, that it looks different to all other brands that I've seen. And I still say to him, there's no way you're falling off Lion's Head when you're wearing these, like the extensive grip. So I can see that there's that real innovation there, which is wonderful.
Merrell takes on the view that, and with full understanding of the consumer, takes on the view that, yes, they need to build pinnacle product, which is what they do. From the bottom up, Merrell uses a product from Boardroom, who are the best outsole rubber makers and outsole makers and designers of outsoles in the world, an Italian-based company. And, depending on the end purpose, function, and consumer taste, what comes into it is not only the stickiness of the rubber, but also the depth of the lugs, because that is very, very specific
What are the lugs?
So a lug is, if one imagines getting onto a hockey field or a soccer field, it's the studs, but these are rubber studs. And it gets formed in a pattern that really helps ergonomically and technologically with every stride you take.
Yes, it's those studs that stood out to me.
It's the grip.
Wow. Drum sound effect. So Merrell is a global brand. How does Merrell adapt its positioning to resonate specifically with South Africa's outdoor culture?
And that's what we love about the region that has been allocated to us to promote the brand. South Africa is so multi in every single way.
Yes.
And, from scaling mountains to walking hills to having an after-sport product, but also having product that is fit for consumers that want to go on a paddle. And for that, we have, low-profile, minimalist-type footwear, which is very good for portage and the like when you're carrying your boat. And then we have a very big trail run community in the country. We have a hiking community. We have a walking community. And what is great about where we are right now in South Africa is that sense of community, that sense of engagement, is that we don't have to have a look for the extremity of any function. Time is short in our everyday. Life has become busy. So what Merrell is doing is designing footwear that can take you from road to trail and back again, can take you to the mountain peaks while also exploring the forests that lie at the foot of each mountain, take you to the urban environment, and footwear that is fit for office wear. And, a really diverse, multi-purpose brand that offers product for what consumers are looking for.
Okay. Do you find that consumers are making more eco-conscious decisions? Do they look at sustainability, or aren't we quite there yet?
One of the most encouraging questions that is posed to me when we are presenting ranges to the buyers of Outdoor Warehouse is, what is your sustainability story? It's my belief that every brand should be involved in a great way. We do know that the processes that do take place can be arduous and expensive. I think we need to sometimes put that aside and focus on maybe a category from the brand that does offer a sustainable story, and more than a story, sustainable action.
Okay.
Merrell has taken on the view that in every shoe that they offer is that the laces are recycled, the lining of every shoe is recycled, the footbed is made of recycled material. And I'll take it a step further to an interesting new development from the brand to do with sustainability, is that Merrell has now partnered with Bloom Technologies. What Bloom Technologies does is that they take bad algae.
Yeah.
They then squeeze out all the moisture.
Yeah.
They then heat it. It then gets ground down into a powder. Adding polymers to that powder brings about the pellets. Those pellets are then taken into the production of some of our lightweight, eco-conscious, and sustainable footwear. Some of it in the minimalist line, and some of
Yes.
it that is used in the sandal side of the business.
Does it eventually become like a rubbery or more of a plastic
So
material?
that's exactly what it forms. Thank you for that question.
Okay.
It ultimately forms a foam
Ah.
that blows out. So it's has a very high density, but yet offers that shock-absorbing energy return shoe that has a very, very good sustainable story.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We need a sneak peek, Chanel. Do you have a sneak peek for an upcoming collection or trend?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
we
let's do this.
It's the style is called the Hydro Mock. We
Okay.
also have the Hydro Next Gen. And there is another brand out there that is spelled CROC. And
Oh.
it takes on that same type of look.
Never heard of them.
No.
See you in a while.
But it takes on that look. But I think with this sustainable story, we are taking it to the next level.
That's
Very
really
excited.
exciting. Yeah, I love that.
Adventures start with the right gear and real-world advice from experts. And For Every Adventure brings you both.
So, Merrell often partners with outdoor events and adventure communities. How important are these partnerships in growing the brand?
Well, growing every brand is all about credibility. It's about, that life adventure. It's about the engagement, the sense of community.
Yes.
We've taken on the strategy of not only partnering with events, but also partnering with individuals and teams to take part in these events. Many years ago, we partnered with, they were ranked number 3 in the world, an adventure racing team, and they were known as the Merrell Adventure Addicts.
Okay.
And so when we introduced our trail running product to the community, we thought that not only let them be ambassadors for the brand, hopefully influencers, but also let's test our product in the most harshest of conditions.
Yes.
So, that's how it all started with these ambassadors who specialize in the sport. Today, and that is 20 odd years later, we've gone from the Merrell Adventure Addicts to now sponsoring individuals taking part in outside. We like to call it outside events.
Okay.
So that'll be long trail runs, long paddles, or, that after sport product that one would use after a bike ride. But building on, heritage, authenticity, and also getting the brand out there. Then the next chapter in the Merrell life story in South Africa was then sponsoring a number of events. We have gone ahead and, we sponsored the Tsitsikamma Mountain Bike Challenge, the Tsitsikamma Trail Run,
Okay.
the Whale of Trail in...
That sounds good, Whale of Trail.
A Whale of Trail, which can be likened to the Otter Trail that we've
see.
heard so much about.
Okay.
But the Whale of Trail is now managed by Graham Bird, who was one of our initial influencers and ambassadors for the brand back when we had the Merrell Adventure Addicts. But really partnering for events is pivotal for us. Of course, getting the brand out there, marketing the brand, and then also, taking those next steps to making the events a multi-function, multi-purpose, multidisciplined event. And that's when we partnered with the Adventure Racing World Series. And we've become the title sponsor as far as footwear goes for that World Series.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
That's
amazing.
incredible, yeah.
So let's jump to CAT, the rugged and durable brand. CAT boots are iconic. How does the brand innovate without losing that classic feel its fans love?
Well, I think one needs to talk to the purpose of, why were CAT boots even brought about? When you have this monstrous earth-moving equipment company situated in the US,
The diggers.
The diggers, the excavators. Why? What was Caterpillar incorporated thinking at that point? Well, with every big machine sold, they wanted to provide the machine operators with Caterpillar branded product, and that's what led to the footwear piece, the apparel piece, and then headwear bags and the rest. So, a company that is deeply rooted in heritage, authenticity, but mostly innovation. Innovation and being ingenious with some of the projects that they've taken on. So, the brand from a basic yellow boot called the Colorado that we introduced to the South African marketplace in the early 90s.
I remember that yellow boot. You're too young, Kyle.
It's still around.
I was there.
Oh, is it still around? Wow.
It's still around.
Okay.
Yeah, we are the only people in this area that was around for that.
But our learnings from that, and one talks to innovation and staying even more relevant with the consumer of today, is that shoe, and all shoes are made using a different type of construction. That shoe was made strong, the Colorado. And the construction that they used was a construction in footwear that they've used for many years called Goodyear welted. Now, that makes the shoe strong. It is bulletproof. Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
What Caterpillar then did in their design and development was, we need some more energy return and cushioning in the product.
Okay.
So the only way to achieve that was to put a more shock-absorbing footbed into the product to give it that true mattress-type comfort. But then, down the line, the sneaker trend began to ignite, and Caterpillar almost needed to sneakerize their heritage product.
Yeah.
So they've come out with a different construction of the boot, making it lighter, but yet more flexible and even more comfortable. So from there, to keep consumers absolutely dialed into the brand, and for us to stay dialed in with the consumer, we've now needed to follow trend. Caterpillar footwear is not a trendsetter or a fashion leader, but we do like to be that stable brand that takes credence and understands and identifies with the demands of the consumer today. Today, one puts on a pair of Caterpillar products, whether it be boot, shoe, sneaker, or even work boot, and you'll feel like you're wearing a pair of slippers.
That's amazing. But did you have to compromise on the strength at all, or not really?
And I think that's exactly what technology has brought us. Goodyear welted is a construction that goes back hundreds of years. And, today we've come up with various ways of keeping that strength there, that built-in comfort, the longevity, and what the brand's known for, durability and quality.
Okay. So I'm just checking. Are you saying that there's a mix now between workwear and lifestyle? Is it a good blend?
Believe that there's definitely a fusion between the two.
Okay.
And, we, a big portion of our business are actually the digger type products, the earth moving type products. And that would form part of what Caterpillar terms the cat work category.
Okay.
So to start off, cat work or cat safety product, in other words, steel toe caps or composite toe caps. The boots were essentially very, very heavy in the past. Well, today, these new constructions, new developments that are as durable, if not even more durable than a Goodyear welted product, they really speak to the ingenuity and innovation from the brand developers.
We mentioned the sustainability aspect of Merrell shoes. How is CAT responding to the growing demand of more sustainable materials and ethical production practices?
What is interesting and how Caterpillar has addressed the sustainability story is, yes, the laces, the rubber in the outsoles, the lining of the product would all be of recycled material.
Yeah.
Not all the products, because it all depends on end use as well. So
Definitely.
retaining durability, but and there will be compromises that are made, but it's a case of using post-industrial waste material
Yeah, it's a
to
fine line.
recycle.
It's such a fine line to walk. Even when you think about the classic Caterpillar shoe versus the innovation, where's the middle point? And then with sustainability as well, what do you compromise for it? And I think both brands have done such a fantastic job of walking that fine line.
What's also interesting, Carl, is that, one looks at Caterpillar product and invariably probably 90% of the range is made of natural leather. So we know that, yes, natural leather, fantastic, but it's how do we get to that stage of producing the leather, from its initial form.
Yeah.
What Caterpillar has taken on is that they only deal with gold-rated factories. What that means is that every part of that production process is cognizant of many of the processes that have taken place. In other words, taking wastewater, converting it to pure water, using that in the tanning process. It will then come out as dirty water, and what Caterpillar has then taken on in the development and sustainability story, they will return that to drinkable water.
Wow.
There's so many touch points that can be looked at. So it's wonderful to know that you look at all of those. I have a different question now, which came up. I think I've always wondered, if you make imagine now this cat shoe, you make it so well that it's so strong and it's so durable and it's just going to last and last. How do you manage that? Because obviously you want that person to be buying again. Is that a really hard challenge?
Chanel, you've hit the nail on the head. We also have a business to run.
Yes, of course.
And the product lasts. I mean, we've had stories, and this is a little anecdote. We have stories of consumers, valued consumers of ours, having been so loyal to the brand. Their first pair lasted them 15 years.
That's a problem.
And then we get a complaint call to say that the next pair that they brought only lasted them 12 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So this is, these are some of the happy stories we have. So how do we keep with the pace? Is constant product development, new areas to go into, new categories of product.
Okay.
One talks to ruggedness. One talks to athletic lifestyle. And one talks to keeping the brand cool. And that is really what our job is. We have to keep the brand cool, on trend, fashionable, but also, not making our consumer. We found the Caterpillar consumer is a consumer that enjoys stability, comfort, good design, and being part of a tribe. Okay. And, that is really being an individual as a part of that tribe. And what we focus on is providing product that is on trend, fashionable, and appeals to the consumer of today and tomorrow.
It's obviously a tough job to balance these two brands, Merrell and Caterpillar. How do you balance leading two very distinct brands under one umbrella, giving each the focus they deserve?
Well, it starts off with a consumer. And, who is our target market? Who is our main target market? Because naturally, brands do push the envelope in many, many ways. It goes back to DNA. And what Caterpillar stands for is being bold, driven, and helping an individual build for growth. Caterpillar provides product that is versatile, offers longevity, durable, and quality-driven with loads and an encyclopedia of authenticity and heritage. A brand that goes back 100 years. And, yes, separation sometimes, well, you know what? There is a great divide between the two. Okay. The one is an urban trekking brand. The one is, Caterpillar is an urban trekking brand. It is a lifestyle brand. It is a brand that will take you to the great outdoors. One talks to building product for new consumers, different consumers. Caterpillar is in the agricultural sector. It's in the industrial sector. It's in the tradesperson sector, whether they be plumbers, electricians, or carpenters. But then also leading into, the fashion-led consumer. And, so it is about urban trekking. It is about boldness and strength and to help build a person's personal courage. It takes you to that next level. So one talks to the subject of adventure, we think of Merrell.
Yeah.
One talks the subject of Caterpillar, and we talk to everyday life, to sporting events, and to our bra.
Okay. I'm wondering, on a more personal level, is it challenging for you to switch between these constantly? Or how do you find doing this?
You've asked a very emotional question, an emotive question. It doesn't take a lot for me to switch between the two. It's, Caterpillar for me is at the center of my heart.
Okay.
And, they always say that when we get together with the brand teams, they believe our company has yellow blood. And that's not cowardly, that's happy blood.
Yes.
Happy
Yes,
blood and Caterpillar yellow blood. When it comes to Merrell, it's all about self-discovery and freedom.
Okay.
And that is getting into the outside. It is taking on every day in the office, in comfort, in shock absorption, in actually feeling like we're not even wearing shoes. And then it comes to the evenings and the weekends, and we start speaking about that outside adventure. And that's where the brand takes me to. So from two totally different emotive spaces in my mind, we can take on any adventure wearing either CAT or Merrell.
And as you mentioned, it always comes back to the consumer. And I'm wondering how much the consumer's feedback influences your decisions.
Consumer feedback is at the heart of it all.
Yes.
We have a number of our own stores, and we use these in South Africa, and we use these as a testing ground for product that may be a little bit out there for the season. The current retailers within South Africa may not be ready for that type of product because that's what they've learned from their consumers. Things take time. And one thing our company has always been guilty of is putting product onto the market at too early a stage, and sometimes pulling it out of the market
Really?
at too early a stage.
The market's not ready quite
Well,
yet.
I think, maybe we need, and it's come with years of experience, that we now have matured to a point where we've said, let the market mature, let us mature in knowing what the consumer needs at a certain time, and let's present the product at that time. We speak to consumer feedback. That is everything. We have our own e-commerce site for Merrell and for CAT.
Okay.
And what we read into is consumer feedback. We get amazing stories, but then we also get the not so amazing stories, and those are the ones we learn from.
Yes.
So, this is really what it's all about. Feedback comes in many, many forms, as does criticism. And it's the positive criticism that we build on to produce product for the next generation, the next consumer.
David, could you give us an idea of the biggest opportunities that you can see going ahead in the South African market? If you can share some of that with us. And then also maybe some of the challenges you foresee at the moment.
We are facing, let's talk to the negative first.
Okay.
And again, challenges are certainly not negative, but the consumer today is hard pressed. We understand that as a company that distributes premium priced brands and products. So we've taken heed of all this. We totally understand and are empathetic about it all. We are ultimately, at our company, we're ultimately consumers too. So we fully take on board the cost of living situation and the cost of many things. So it's having an understanding and being empathetic to it all in driving any business. One needs to certainly understand the market, understand the consumer, what the consumer is going through. Where is the opportunity?
Yes.
So from Caterpillar and Merrell, what we are focused on right now is a tiering of product, is a tiering of our categories of product, and is a tiering of price.
Okay.
So, we spoke a little earlier about Boardroom in the outsoles.
Yeah.
Well, what Merrell has done, They use Vibram, of course, for the top tier product where, Vibram holds a lot of credibility. But what Merrell have done is that they have self-engineered a proprietary outsole. So still offering that grippiness, that stickiness, that durability and longevity, but now at a much reduced price.
Oh, that's good.
So I think the important thing to note as well is that when we do take on projects such as this, is that we are fully engaged with retaining the DNA of the brand. So it stays with the handwriting of the brand and really speaks truly to the essence and ethos of every product from the brand.
All right. So before we go into the rapid fire round segment of this conversation, what's your, and this is going to be either an easy or a difficult answer, what's your personal go-to Merrell and CAT shoe and why?
So let's start with CAT. CAT is involved in a number of collaborations with artists, clothing designers, potters, and dancers and musicians.
Okay.
And what one always looks to that engaging point. How do we as distributors of the brand that have known the brand for so many years, what do we identify with? And what I identify with is that the work side of the brand,
Yes.
ballistic materials, olive colorways, and the collaborator and the influencer for a project that Caterpillar Footwear ran was with a clothing designer named Nigel Claiborne, and he produces product that is military inspired, is in the olives, in the sand colors, in those real desert colors,
Yes.
and that's what has appealed to me. So it can be a basic work boot. We spoke to the Colorado a little earlier. This was Colorado reimagined in new materials, ballistic nylons and low pile suedes, but giving you that true military type feel.
Okay.
I'm just interested to know, can you tell us some of the people or the influencers that...
Oh, name dropping time.
No, that wear that. I mean, I'm trying to think, I see like serious rappers maybe wearing that military-inspired boot.
Okay.
So we've engaged with a number of influencers, and I'll speak to one in particular of late. And his name is Simiso Zwane.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool cat.
Yeah.
Cool cat. And Simiso has taken on designs such as this, as well as being the pioneer for us when we were marketing the Centennial Collection,
My
which spoke to
goodness.
the Channel, Apollo, and Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. A few rapid fire questions. Just the first thing that comes to mind, you can answer with that. I'll go first, and then Chanel, you can take the second question, and we'll continue on like that. So you may have already answered this first one. Your go-to shoe color, bold or neutral?
Depends on the brand.
There we go.
And we talk about differentiators.
Yeah.
And something that I haven't spoken to is my favorite Merrell product.
Yes,
Oh, yeah?
of course.
Okay, let's
We
jump back
skipped
quickly.
that.
We are jumping back.
Yeah.
So, and that's where we can really engage with creativity, boldness, and being a true individual by showing off the brights.
Yes.
And today that's what it's about. From Merrell, we look at toned down versions of the browns, the olives, and every other shade of brown. And but for me, I mean, that would be the go-to work shoe for me, toning it down. But when we hit those trails,
Yes.
it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue,
Really?
indigo, violet.
Yes.
It's whatever color of the rainbow we can use in our product. But when we drill down into the actual product, I have a personal favorite.
All right.
It's called the Agility Peak. And my personal favorite, because I've walked many, many miles in this product. And what's important for any trekker, for any person that does paddle in the product and then tries to trek after that, is that you don't want a blister.
Nope.
You don't want any friction in the product, especially when you've got another couple of 100 kilometers ahead. So for me, it's about the ingenuity of the product. It's about the features of the product, the materials that are used, the energy return, the blister-free environment, and the traction that the product offers.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. For your next adventure race, what color pair are you taking from the cupboard? That's always the girls. They want to know what color.
Absolutely. But I think we have to progress from there because it will still be agility, but it'll be the next series to start with.
Okay.
And then in adventure racing, we have various bins. You know, you're going from one discipline to the next.
Oh,
so
of
you may never
course.
see your previous box again.
Okay.
So now it's about what 3 pairs are you going to take with you and what colors within that. You know, the color palettes for next year have, for 2026, color trends have come in that brands are going for more muted tones, more earthy tones, but still answering the call for pastels.
Okay.
So pastels will still be in, and that goes across men's and women's footwear.
I see.
You know, there's no divide anymore, and it's, you know, we offer most of our products in our trail run category in both the 3s to 8s, so that would be women's and youth sizes,
Yes.
as well as our men's sizes, which range from 6 to 13.
Okay. Shall we jump back to the rapid fire questions?
Okay, first thing you look for in a new shoe design.
Wow.
He looks at the total picture. That's the
Wow.
thing.
It also depends on the brand, you know. For me, you know, coming from a footwear background, I look for the quality of the leather,
Okay.
even the application of the laces. What type of lace is being used? What type of stitching thread is being used? Where is the outsole? Is it on trend with what I'm looking for? We do design for some of our own brands, and we do take inspiration from brands that we see overseas.
Okay.
So, you know, whilst I am an enormous supporter of the brands we manage, market, and distribute,
Yes.
I also take inspiration from brands that are probably 3 steps ahead.
Okay.
You know, brands like Manjani, Santoni, you know, brands that are not known in South Africa, Karl Lagerfeld, brands that are not known in South Africa, but yet we take a lot of inspiration from these trend leaders.
Are those Italian, the first two?
The first 2 are Italian,
Okay.
which is where I studied.
Yes.
The most underrated shoe feature.
Well, you know, if we were on camera now, I would do a demonstration of the lacing of a product.
Okay.
And lacing is all about end function.
Okay.
So whether one is going up and scaling Kilimanjaro, you know, preferably you're going to go in a boot. And, you know, it's how one laces that product. So, you know, it's the type of lace to start with. You know, does it have little hooks on the lace that are quite microscopic that you don't see them, and the lace doesn't slip? Because I think a slipping lace is any user's worst nightmare, to constantly have to do your shoelaces. So it's the manner of shoelacing. You know, we as a company are going to promote something that deals with the features, you know, of shoelacing and how one can do shoelacing for different functions.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you know, maybe it would be a televised or shown or videoed
Yes.
feature, is that in Merrell footwear and many people in the running fraternity, our competitors have it in some of their products as well, there'll always be an extra eyelet even closer to your ankle. And, you know, one never knows what to do with that eyelet. And, well, we do. And it's a way to lace to really lock your foot in even more when you're going on any type of
see.
adventure. Again, whether it's walking your dog around the block or taking a scale of a mountain.
All right.
I love
Yeah.
that. There's even an art in lacing
Absolutely.
shoes.
Most
Yes,
definitely for in purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have one word that describes Merrell?
Yes, I do, but it is hyphenated.
Okay.
Life adventure.
All right.
Counts as a word.
Thank you.
Same question for Kat.
I have a few, they're all single words.
Okay.
Bold, brave, and bold.
All right. I think that works well.
Oh, love it.
All right. We've got 2 more to go. Most adventurous place you've worn your shoes.
The island of Rodrigues, which is 650 kilometers east of Mauritius, where I did my first adventure race back in 2019. And I must add that I followed an adage that we use in trail running sometimes, is that you always size up. So I'm regularly a size 8. I took a size 9 with me. Boy, did I pay.
Oh.
But I learned a good lesson.
Yes.
Yeah, I learned a good lesson, because also when shoes become wet, and we had a lot of sea swims, and you're going to even swim with your pack on, you swim with your shoes on, your clothes, you're sometimes swimming at night in the open ocean, and then you still have to hit islands and then go for a trek after that. So I learned a good lesson in sizing back in 2019 and what one should use. And what size should use, and they should always be your true size.
True size, okay.
But it was the Agility Peak 4 back then, and we have since progressed to the 5 this year, and it will be the Agility Peak 6 being introduced for next year.
Awesome.
I can see that you're excited about that one. So
Totally.
we'll look out for that. What's great is for people like me, I don't know my true size. So I can go into Outdoor Warehouse and they have a specialist there that can help me with sizing, so I don't make the same mistake.
All right, last one to go. If you could design a shoe for any celebrity or adventurer, who would that be?
The person that, and he already wears Merrell, and this wasn't an initiative from Merrell to wear the product. He did it of his own accord, and that was Bear Grylls, wearing the Chameleon series of product back then.
Oh, great.
And, I think that speaks to the true ethos of the brand: adventure, survival, bravery, courage, and wanting for more. Sharing the simple power of being outside with everyone, that sense of community.
Awesome. Shout out to Bear Grylls. Hey.
I think your next mission should be taking CAT to Mars.
What?
Yeah, the Mars mission.
Okay.
Because that sort of
I
aligns
agree.
in my
I
mind.
did not expect this.
We've taken
suggestion.
CAT to the moon. Mars
Yeah.
could be next.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think so.
exactly.
Yes.
Okay, that's a great idea. Thanks a lot for popping in today. This was a really fun conversation. Is there a last message you would like to chat about, to say?
Of course. And I think it comes down to the two brands that we've mentioned now, but also Greater Life in South Africa. And that is driving and striving towards a sense of community, engagement, and beauty.
Thanks so much, David Palmer. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we learned so much from this discussion.
Thank you very much for having me.
You can find the Merrell shoes and Caterpillar shoes. We'll see you trying both on at your nearest outdoor warehouse. Also, check out the website outdoorwarehouse.co.za. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and on Spotify.
For every adventure.
Explore with confidence with expert tips and tricks, brought to you by the For Every Adventure podcast.